Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what we got for you right now. If you like those sports cars from the 80s, those mid engine little Japanese sports cars that you found them not too, not too expensive, but sporty for your taste, then you're looking at the right video. Let's see what we got for you right now. We have a 143 scale 1984 Toyota MR2 G-Limited. Now, the MR2 model, by the way, this is a resin model. It's made by High Story, which is a brand that lately is making quite a few nice looking resin models. And I really like them. I really, really do, because they're quite on point with them. The quality's not so bad, and they're not the most expensive resin models compared to other brands like Neo and Cass, which are a lot more expensive to me, at least. But let's keep going what we have in front of us. Now, this is the first generation of the Toyota MR2. It came out in 1984 all the way down to 1989. Just remember, the Toyota MR2 had three generations. The third one lasted until 2007. So this is a model, the MR2 name model lasted until 2007. But going back to this first generation, like I said, it was a first generation mid-engine vehicle. It was considered a two-door coupe or T-top, because they T-top, if you remember, a lot of cars in the 80s had a T-top name. The two sides, it was like a sunroof that you open manually. You have to remove the panels, and there was a T at the in the middle. The middle part will stay there like a little bar. That was called the T-top. And a lot of cars in the 80s, especially sports cars, they use that style, which you barely see it now. Now, let's talk about engines on this beautiful looking car. Engine wise, remember, these were not super powerful, they were more of a looks than what you were getting. You had a 1.5, you had also a 1.6, and you also had a 1.6 supercharged. Now, transmissions on these little cars, you had a 5-speed manual, and also you had a 4-speed automatic. So not a bad thing, not a bad, because remember, sports cars, sometimes you don't find automatics on sports cars. But I noticed that with Japanese, they usually put choices, they give you options, they don't just enclose themselves. Even with K cars, you see a lot of them are automatics, and I like that. They just do not just enclose themselves in one style only. I love the two-tone color. It's one of those things that you admire, especially in a little car like this, because usually two-tone colors, they use it a lot in the luxurious cars, the luxury cars like Lincoln Town cars. They used to use, but not so much in sports cars. They didn't really do that a lot. Now, the MR2 suspension and handling were designed by Toyota with the help of Lotus. You remember, Lotus was also famous for the mid-engine cars. They had the Elan. The Elan kind of reminds me of this in size, not in looks. The front end a little bit, not the rear end, but it's also a mid-engine vehicle. So, and Lotus. Let me tell you about Lotus. Lotus helped a few brands out there with their suspension. They were not so enclosed only with their brand. Remember, they also did it with, if you remember, Isuzu worked with Lotus for a while, also on their models. If you remember the stylist, Isuzu stylist, or in other parts of the world they call them the Gemini. Uh, They also had the Isuzu Lotus, the Lotus engineering, I think suspension or no, but I think it was a suspension. So they helped a few brands out there. All right, guys. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let it go around a few times, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. I was reading and I forgot to mention. If you remember the second generation of the MR2, it was when they came out with the second generation. It was a little bigger in size and a little bit more powerful in engines. So, but then on the third generation, just going a little bit more and above, it it kind of shrank a little bit again. Kind of shrank a little bit. It was a little more rounded. They were more familiar as a convertible on the third generation, but it shrank a little bit too. And I like the first and the third generation. I was not too fond of the second generation. I have all three generations as diecast or resins, but the second generation was my least. Maybe because it was kind of trying to pull out from the small sports cars group and was trying to go more like into almost like into the mid-size. But then it noticed that going back to where you came from is going to be a better option. All right, guys. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying this video as much as I'm enjoying making it. Hopefully, you gave me a little nice thumbs up, which I truly appreciate. Thank you so much. And don't forget to click and subscribe. And when you subscribe, click the bell next to the subscribe button. That will remind you when I'm posting more videos, which I'm doing it daily. But you never know. One day I may put two videos. One day I may not put a video. So it's good to subscribe and click the bell. All right, everyone. Comment below. Let me know, were these cars sold in your country? Were they reliable? Did you like them? Do you still see them on the roads, or you see them on car shows? Or you didn't get to see them in person and now you're seen as a diecast or resin? Hey, at least you got to see it. Just feel good. All right, everyone. Take care of yourselves more than ever. And goodbye.